Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. We're continuing our team previews for the T20 World Cup. In this episode, we'll be looking at New Zealand, the team who finished second in the 2019 World Cup final, and a very consistent team are the Black Caps, especially in ICC tournaments, led very well by Kane Williamson. He's a brilliant captain, very calm and composed, and they have some experienced players there, some inexperienced players as well. I think one player that they will miss is Ross Taylor. He's been a constant fixture in their squads in the last 6, 7 World Cups. From marching back since 2011, he's been there in almost every squad. So they will miss Ross Taylor and the likes of Martin Guptill, Trent Bolt, Ferguson. These guys will have to step up. Nisham as well. He's kind of experienced as well, so they'll have to step up the senior players. And yeah, it looks like a good combination. Devin Conway is a player that I really want to watch out for. I think he had a brilliant New Zealand summer. He batted brilliantly there. These conditions are different than the UAE. Can he adapt to them? Can he adjust to the slowness of the wicket? How does he play spin? These are questions that need to be answered. When it comes to fast bowling, we've seen what he's done. He's batted brilliantly on those pitches in New Zealand. So can he adjust to UAE conditions? If he can, he will be a key player. Williamson is main batsman. He's someone who plays spin very well. He can glue the innings, he can rotate the strike, and when needed, he can hit the big shots. We've seen that he can up his strike rate. Kane Williamson, he's that class player. In the same mold of Virat Kohli, Steve Smith, Babar Azam. These guys can anchor, but they can also accelerate when needed. And Williamson will be key because he plays spin very well, and these are going to be tough conditions. In the group, there's Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, so there's plenty of spin going to be on offer. So Williamson will be key. Guptill, again, he's been hot and cold throughout his career, but they'll need him in form, give those starts. He struggled a bit in the subcontinent and in the UAE conditions, but hopefully he can find his rhythm. Of course, the opposition teams will try to look to play both spin against him, but he looked to attack that and try to nullify that threat. And who replaces Ross Taylor? That's a good question. There's the likes of Conway, Glenn Phillips, Tim Seifert, plenty of options there. Darren Mitchell can open the batting as well, so they have plenty of options. It's just that can they, partner with Williamson and build these partnerships and take New Zealand to good scores. When you look at their bowling, the fast bowling is stacked. They have Bolt, they have Ferguson, they have Sodhi, they have Jamieson. So there are plenty of bowling options in the fast bowling department. Then spinners, they have Ish Sodhi, they have Mitchell Santner, they have Todd Astle. So there are plenty of options. That's a good thing about New Zealand. If you look at a lot of non-subcontinent teams, the likes of Australia, England, and stuff, they either have one specialist spinner and one part-timer or like couple, whereas New Zealand have 2, 3 options. Mitchell Santner is no mug with the ball. We saw what he did in the last World Cup against India. So these spinners are pretty good. So the Mitch Santner, you can't just say just because they don't play on these pitches often, that doesn't mean they won't be effective. They will be effective. They've shown that in the last World Cup, and these guys will be key in terms of picking up wickets and putting pressure on the opposition. For me, Bolt and Ferguson, these guys are two bowlers who can bowl on any kind of surface. Bolt in particular enjoys the UAE and he gets that initial swing. I think Ferguson, he can bowl well in the middle overs, death overs as well. Has a good slower ball on him, bowled well in the IPL, so he's in good form. And then you have Jamieson, Sodhi, more of a new ball bowler. Jamieson can try a bit of both. Jamieson not as successful in this format than Test match cricket, but his extra pace will always help in certain situations. If I look at the ideal 11, I mean, there's plenty of permutations and combinations that you can go with this New Zealand team. But to start off, I'll just go with Conway up to that top. I think Conway can bat in the middle order as well, but I just want to see him bat at top pace, as many deliveries as possible. Left-right hand combination, that would be good. Then Kane Williamson, 1 down. Then 2 down, I'm going to go Glenn Phillips. 3 down, Tim Seifert, and then Nisham, Santner, Jamieson, Ferguson, Sodhi, Bolt. The likes of Nisham and Santner, expecting them to finish it off, and then Jamieson as well can bat. He can hit the big sixes. So there's like 3 all-rounders there who can finish off the innings. It looks like this 11 is the batting is a bit short, but Nisham is a proper batsman as well, so you have to count him at 6. And Santner and Jamieson can provide the finishing role. They have options on the bench. They have Mark Champion, they have Daryl Mitchell as well. Can come in, he can bat anyway, he can open the batting as well. They have Todd Astle to come with the ball as well. So they have plenty of options, but yeah, for me the bowlers that I'll start off with is Santner, Jamieson, Ferguson, Sodhi, and Bolt. Then if needed, Williamson can roll his arm over as well. You have two spinners there and three fast bowlers with Nisham as the medium pace option. So plenty of options. They have 6-7 bowling option, which takes the pressure off the five main bowlers. And if they need to rotate, they can rotate if someone is if one person or the other is expensive. And yeah, so it's a very good New Zealand team. You know, they always look under the radar. They always look, it's not the strongest on paper if you look at the other teams, but this team always, they gel together. They play as a unit. Whatever the conditions are, they look to adapt. They have a captain who's very smart, reads the situation very well, and that gives them that advantage. They're in a tough group because, you know, these are in subcontinent conditions, like UAE conditions, similar to subcontinent conditions. It'll be spinning, the ball will be spinning, it'll be spin-friendly conditions, and it will be a challenge for New Zealand, but this is a team who likes these challenges. They won't be afraid to take it on against Afghanistan, against India and Pakistan. So this is a dark horse team. Again, New Zealand, semi-finals is well within their grasp. Although you would say like India, Pakistan have a better chance just because they know conditions better, but New Zealand, you cannot count them out, and they will cause problems even for India, for Pakistan, even for Afghanistan. Hopefully, we see a good performance from the Black Caps, and let's see how far they go. I won't be surprised if we get knocked around the group stages just because, like, you know, that lack of experience in that middle order apart from Williamson. You know, a lot will be relying on Williamson and Guptill in the batting side of things, but I think they have a very good bowling attack, and if the batters can contribute, if the likes of Nisham, Tim Seifert, Glenn Phillips, if these guys pull in valuable contributions, then the bowlers can do their job. So it's not going to be easy team to defeat, but yeah, I think that wraps it up for me. Again, with the ball, Sodhi and Santner, bowlers to watch out for with the bat, Guptill and Williamson. And yeah, I think they can qualify for the semifinals, but it can go either way. They'll have to be on top of the game. That's it, I think, for this team. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you like and subscribe for the latest content from the T20 World Cup. And yeah, until next time, take care. Thank you so much for joining me.